Have you ever thought about how simply buying more Bitcoin can change your spending habits? Sounds crazy, right? But believe me, Bitcoin isn't just a digital currency. It's a powerful tool that can make you stop wasting money on things like cigarettes, alcohol, and other junk. This happens because of something we call temporal preference. Stay with me in this video and discover how Bitcoin can drive real change in your financial behavior and how it relates to your future. Hey everyone, this is Bit by Bit, where we talk about money, Bitcoin, personal development, and how you can achieve financial freedom. Today, we'll dive deep into how Bitcoin can not only be a way to invest, but also a powerful tool to change your spending habits and help you create a healthier financial future. Best part, it will help you make better decisions, like spending less on things that add no value to your life. Before we dive into Bitcoin, let's first define temporal preference. It's a simple concept. It's the tendency we all have to value the present over the future. In other words, when faced with a decision to either spend money on something today or invest it for tomorrow, temporal preference is what makes us choose the immediate reward. We live in a world where gratification is instant, whether it's buying that new gadget or grabbing a quick snack. And while these things feel good in the moment, they're usually not the best choices for our long-term financial health. Here's the thing. High temporal preference leads to impulsive behavior. We spend money now on things that provide instant satisfaction, but we miss out on long-term gains. How many times have you found yourself buying something you didn't need simply because it was right in front of you? Whether it's a night out, a pack of cigarettes, or a bottle of wine, it's all the same. These short-term purchases often create a cycle of instant gratification, and over time, they eat away at your financial security. What happens when we give in to instant gratification? Well, we're not saving money for things that matter more down the road, like investing in assets or putting money aside for future needs. And let's be honest, this affects everyone. If you find yourself running out of money every month because of spontaneous spending, you might be trapped in this cycle without realizing it. Now let's talk about how Bitcoin can break that cycle. Bitcoin is not just a digital currency, it's a tool that forces you to think long-term. When you start thinking of your money as Bitcoin, you automatically start thinking about the future. Why? Because Bitcoin is not just a spend-now currency, it's a store of value that encourages you to delay gratification. Every time you think about buying something unnecessary, you realize that money could have been used to increase your Bitcoin stack, making you more financially secure in the long term. Here's the interesting part. When you choose to buy Bitcoin, instead of spending it on impulsive purchases, you're actually choosing to invest in your future self. And Bitcoin's price fluctuations force you to adopt a mindset that focuses on long-term growth rather than short-term pleasures. Imagine this scenario. You're standing in a store, eyeing that expensive jacket or the latest tech gadget. But then you pause. You ask yourself, is this purchase going to benefit my future? You realize that instead of spending on this item, you could be putting that money into Bitcoin. And that's the power of Bitcoin. It encourages self-discipline. You're no longer just living in the moment. You begin thinking about the bigger picture. The more you invest in Bitcoin, the more you start seeing it as your future asset. And with that mindset shift, you begin to question every small impulse purchase. This is exactly how Bitcoin helps you break free from impulsive spending habits and adopt a more responsible, future-focused approach to money. Many people who've started investing in Bitcoin have shared how their spending habits changed drastically. They started cutting down on unnecessary expenses, like going out for drinks, buying junk food, or purchasing things they didn't really need. Why? Because they now had something better to look forward to: Bitcoin. When you begin seeing your Bitcoin investments grow, you start realizing that every real you save or invest now is going towards building something bigger and better in the future. And that realization makes you prioritize savings and investments over immediate gratification. For example, instead of spending money on a night out, you start thinking about how much Bitcoin you could buy with that money and how much it will grow over the next few years. Bitcoin has an incredible ability to shift your mindset from short-term gratification to long-term thinking. When you hold Bitcoin, you're making a decision for your future self. Every Bitcoin you own represents a future reward, not just an immediate purchase. The best part? You're not just storing money in Bitcoin, you're storing value. This long-term thinking is something that's often missing in today's consumer-driven society. But Bitcoin, with its scarcity and potential for value growth, forces you to think beyond the now. You begin to ask yourself, what will my future self thank me for? And that's a shift many people need to make in order to secure their financial future. So how do you start using Bitcoin to improve your temporal preference? It's pretty simple. Make a habit of saving and investing in Bitcoin. Even if it's just a small amount each month, start putting money into Bitcoin. Each time you choose Bitcoin over buying something you don't need, you're training your brain to think long-term. And over time, this habit will compound, making it easier to make better financial decisions in the future. The key here is consistency. Even a small, regular investment in Bitcoin helps you build a habit of thinking about the future. This process takes time, but it will pay off in the long run. Bitcoin is not just about making money. It's about changing the way you think about your finances. It's about investing in a future where you have more control over your wealth. By investing in Bitcoin, you're giving yourself an opportunity to build something that has real value, something that isn't controlled by governments or banks. That's financial independence. The more you focus on Bitcoin, the less you'll find yourself spending on things that don't add value to your life. And eventually, the decision to invest in Bitcoin becomes second nature. Your future self will thank you for the small sacrifices you make today to secure a better tomorrow. To sum up, Bitcoin is not just a digital asset. It's a tool that can help you improve your temporal preference and make smarter financial decisions. It forces you to think beyond instant gratification and invest in your future. The more you buy into Bitcoin, the more you realize that every decision you make today will shape your financial future. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share it with someone who could benefit from this. And let me know in the comments, how has Bitcoin helped you improve your spending habits? Let's talk about it. See you next time.